Welcome to Hop On Calls, a short, tactical, and practical podcast for outbound sales professionals looking to level up their game by learning from actual cold calls that I make every week live on LinkedIn. My name's Kevin Hopp, and I'm all about helping outbound sales professionals hone their craft and build high-quality pipeline. Let's dive right in and see what we can learn in this episode.
Welcome back, everybody, to another edition of Hop On Calls. I'm your host, Kevin Hopp. How are we doing today? Joining me from the sunny state of Florida, Mr. Sean Hurd. Give it up.
What's up, man?
How you doing today, Sean?
Good. You see the sun back there?
I do. And the reason I do not, you can't see sun pouring into my garage is we are having like the wettest winter in San Diego history, which I'm totally cool with because our like San Diego, like California in general is in a crazy drought. So good thing that we got lots of rain going on, but a bad day to have the garage open. So I do not have it open. Sean, people joining right now might not know who you are. And they're thinking, why is Kevin talking to some dude with a Florida hat on? Let's hear your background, Sean. Who are you? Where'd you come from? Why are you someone who should come on a cold calling show?
So, I'm Sean, like Kevin said, and I just got a new role as the veteran coordinator for Shift Group, which is a tech sales training program that traditionally would take college athletes and pro athletes, give them some sales training, and then they have 150 partners that, they would put them in front of to get them hired. And so I got approached recently due to, my couple years I've been doing in sales post-military when I retired in 2021, and to help them stand up a vertical where, we're going to do the same thing for vets, because vet soft skills that we'll talk about in this show are really aligned with outbound sales motions. So that's what made me, when I got out of the Army, I went into SaaS and became the top rep at all the companies I worked on. And a lot of it was just the soft skills that I learned in the Army.
There you go. So you do have a background in SaaS sales. You worked at some of the bigger tech companies, some companies people would know as well. And that's when I met you when you were at Van Air last year.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I started off, as an SDR #1 at an Australian SaaS company, and did that for a couple months and got hired on by Seamless.ai. And that's where I really learned how to cold call. We were hitting the phones like really hard. And I'm sure people follow the CEO there. He's really big on outbound. And I just did really well. I would say the #1 thing that probably propelled me to the top there was just outworking everybody. So I didn't really know I was doing that, but I just outworked them, and that got me to the top. And then, I went from there to a robotics company, and then got a huge closing role for Van Air, selling back to the military, which, I did $2 million my first year there. And then now I opened a business in Florida working for myself, and I'm doing this helping vets get into sales.
I love it. You're known for all of that and your spicy takes on LinkedIn. If you're not following Sean, you should be. So everybody check that out. One of the things I thought was really cool about your background, you sold ramps for tanks to go onto the back of vehicles, which is the weirdest thing to sell ever, in my opinion. Most of the people who are tuning in here, probably 90% of them sell software solutions. I have sold mostly software and services. Selling tank ramps is a little different. We'll get into a bit of that. I want to ask you more questions about that and about your new initiative working with veterans. This is a cold calling show. You don't do a lot of cold calling today, but you got a lot of knowledge about it. I, however, cold call all the time. A lot of people out there talk about it. Guess what? I'm about it. I'm actually about it. Right, Sean?
Yeah, man. I've been in Nooks with you and a couple of our circle of friends, and cold calling's your thing, and you're really good at it. And there's a couple people that I follow to keep up on cold calling, and you're one of them. Anthony Ballesteros from Orem, he's one of them, and a couple other people out there. I try to stay on top of, the current tactics and stuff.
There you go. Well, let's jump right in to me making live calls. I'm going to make calls while we have our conversation. And if I start doing my pitch, to stop talking, because then we're going to. So today I'm going to be calling for my client, Silver Sky. They do cybersecurity. So I'm going to be calling IT managers, talking about cybersecurity. If you're like, hey, Kevin, that sounds not like what you do, because I'm going to be calling for Silver Sky. Without further ado, on my Kixie power call setup, let's take a quick second to shout out to our key sponsor of the show today, headline sponsor, Kixie, your all-in-one business telephony solution. They can help you with your inbound flow, with your support team, with your outbound, with everything you need in terms of telecommunications. I'm going to be using their power call feature today to make a lot of calls in a short period of time, hopefully get a lot of live conversations. And the best part of it, it's all going to be synced back to my CRM seamlessly. I'm not going to have to lift a finger. So if you guys are not using technology in your process today, I don't know what you're doing, but check out Kixie. Awesome. All right. So,
hey, Hop, I got a question for you before you get started.
Too late.
What do you do to get your mind right before you jump into a session?
Today, my mind is right because...
Hey, Eloy, Kevin here with Silver Sky. How you doing today?
Oh, good, thanks. How are you?
I'm all right, but Eloy, I know I caught you out of the blue here. Did I catch you at the second to have a cold conversation, or I actually hear a bit of background noise?
Yeah, actually, if you don't mind giving me a call back next week. I'm out of town in Alabama for work. I thought you might be down. Give me a call. We're waiting for a technician at our headquarters.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, definitely not with Eloy. I'll let you go, but quickly, if I was going to have a conversation about cybersecurity at RK Group, are you the guy to pick the brain of, or is there someone else?
No, sir. That'd be me.
Okay. And you don't have a minute to have a conversation about cyber?
Yeah. We can talk about it next week.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
I will reach out. I will reach out first thing next week.
Okay, thanks.
All right, cheers.
Boom. Wow. First dial, first conversation. Big day.
Nice.
So this is really key. This is something that I talk about a lot on this show, which is the idea of avoiding the false negative. What's a false negative? And I'll write this up on the board so we all can kind of learn along a bit. Which side do you want right here? The false negative is the idea that 99% of people you call are very busy. And because they are busy and they are doing other things, and cold calling by nature is an interruption to their day, they will say things like, I'm not interested. Take me off your list. No, thank you. Thanks for the call. Bye-bye. And reps are going to falsely take that as, okay, that means I can't sell to this person. The way you defend against having those awkward, silly interactions that are really only about the fact that they're busy is you're defensive. I was defensive. Eloy had a lot going on. I could hear it. You got to listen to what's going on the other side of the call. When I heard that there was a lot of background noise, I called that out and said, hey, do you have a minute? And he said, absolutely not. I'm actually busy right now. And I said, I know you are. And when I mentioned cybersecurity to nail that down, he actually said, I am the guy. I would love to talk to you about this. Just can't do it right now. So what do we call this in the biz? This is a warm follow-up. Warm follow-up with Eloy. I'm going to mention that he said he was at his company headquarters next time I call. And we're going to get into a back and forth conversation. So, Sean, you were asking about mindset, right?
Yeah. I think mindset's a really big key to cold calling. Like you're standing up right now. When I cold call, I'm always standing up because I feel like they can feel your energy or lack of energy through the phone. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what I feel. And then as false negative, I think a lot of reps use that as an excuse to just fold because they believe in their mind that they're bothering somebody. So if you believe you're bothering somebody, then the odds of you like having a positive call and booking a meeting isn't going to work because like in your mind, they're going to know that you don't believe in what you're talking about. So like that's another mindset thing. Like, and I'm glad you wrote that up there is like, don't believe you're bothering people. Your product's great. Like they need it. That's how I used to, when I was cold calling, like they need this product. So I'm just here to help.
Yeah. And that really does play into the mindset. I'm going to hit go, get back in the queue here, get some more live conversations. But that does play directly into the mindset of cold calling. This idea and this confident belief that what we're doing does help people. And if you don't have that, it's going to be really hard to, number one, pick up the phone, right? Like I think probably if you were to like poll every salesperson out there and say what stops you from picking up the phone, I think that cold call reluctance comes from the awkward nature of a conversation. But being totally okay with avoiding this and being totally okay with saying, hey, you're busy, I'm not going to talk to you right now, I'm going to call you another day. That gives you confidence to know you're only going to talk to people that are ready to talk. Right?
Yep.
Oh, hey, this is Kevin with Silver Sky. Matthew, how you doing today?
Oh, pretty good.
Fantastic. Look, man, I know I caught you out of the blue here. You got a minute and we can have a quick conversation, or you head down something else?
I'm actually heading to lunch right now.
Ah, right on. Like walking out the door like right now, or do you have like 2 minutes and we can just determine if it makes sense for me to call you back at all?
Oh, go ahead.
Awesome. Well, Matthew, part of the reason I was reaching out, at Silver Sky, we specialize in helping businesses a lot like yours, credit unions, banking space, develop a proactive cybersecurity posture. But look, I totally get it. We're not introducing the idea of cybersecurity to you. In fact, everybody already has a solution in place, whether they're outsourcing it or insourcing it. But we're actually hearing a lot of consistent challenges. And if you're outsourcing it, the challenges are around the visibility you have into your program. If you have an internal staff completely focusing on it, you always wish that there was more bandwidth to handle remediation and respond to threats. Any of these resonating with you, Matthew?
I mean, we were at that point. We're not there anymore because of the solutions we implemented and the vendors we partnered up with.
Okay, so you guys went through a decision-making cycle to kind of make sure you don't have any of those common problems, is what I'm hearing.
Yes.
Okay, and then did you guys decide to go with an outsourced partner?
We have an outsourced partner for a second layer, but we also have our in-house solutions and stuff too.
Okay, it makes a lot of sense. I guess we hear this all the time. I'm really glad, by the way, that you're not having any of the common issues, right? And, just like a doctor, prescription without diagnosis would be malpractice. If you don't have a big problem, there's not much for us to talk about, for me to solve for you, quote unquote. But Matthew, I guess my question, one thing that does make Silver Sky different is our technology. We acquired this company called Cybraics. Not sure if you're familiar, but it's MXDR technology. It goes beyond the limits of traditional MDR vendors, and it really is something that's pretty different. Is that anything that might be worth taking a look at? Are you guys using a traditional MDR vendor today?
What does that stand for again? I'm trying to think. My mind's blank on that.
Yeah, so MDR is the concept of manage, detect, and respond, right? So the metaphor.
Yeah. We actually have, believe it or not, we have two vendors that, depending on what they're detecting and stuff like that, they kind of overlay each other.
Okay. And have you worked with those vendors long?
We just signed a contract with one of them about 3 months ago, a 5-year contract. Okay. Very pleased with that. And then we have our secondary, which, they're our second defense, but they're also our managed service solution too. So, we've been working with them for about 3 years with no issues.
Oh, all right. Well, Matthew, like I mentioned, prescription without diagnosis is malpractice. I'm not going to do that to you. Sounds like you've got great vendors in place. You thought through this. You don't have any of the common problems. You just signed extended agreements with your vendors. I'm going to go ahead and let you get to lunch here. And if you don't mind, I might follow up with you in 6 months just to make sure that everything's still hunky-dory in your environment.
No, that's fine. It's like I tell a lot of vendors, you're not the first one called. Things do change. And sometimes we do have to make decisions because, there's not the same outcome that we were getting. But I'm always open to that.
Awesome. All right, Matthew, have a great day.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
Dude, textbook. Wow. Okay. So that was a very like a textbook example of where a junior rep might have pushed this guy to take a meeting. You know?
I like that so I timed the call kind of. It was generally about 3 minutes. I could tell right when you started, you kind of knew it wasn't going down a road that you wanted to. And you took that and you just started asking questions. And, you were asking questions. He was giving you like 30 seconds answer, and you were actually gaining a lot of information. Even though you're not going to get the meeting today, you got information about, the environment you're selling into, what the competitors are, all that type of stuff. And so, I always said if they're talking and you're not, then you're winning.
Yeah. I mean, the most common thing that, the thing that's tough about selling into selling cybersecurity is I'm not introducing something to them, it's not like I'm working for this like cutting edge, never heard of it type thing. It's like they do manage cybersecurity, and everybody out there does cybersecurity. Like if you're calling a bank that doesn't do cybersecurity, then no one should put their money in that bank. But this bank has a lot of people that put money in it. So I like that call. That was good.
And that's all we got for today's episode of Hop on Calls, powered by Kixie. Be sure to tune into the live recordings every Tuesday on LinkedIn. Would love to have your comments, reactions, questions. It's a really good learning environment for anyone that is looking to do outbound sales better. If your organization is actively focusing on this, feel free to reach out to me, Kevin Hopp, on LinkedIn, or go to hopconsultinggroup.com. I'll see you next time. Cheers.